CFL Combine one-on-one with BC Lions head coach and co-general manager Rick Campbell. Rick, the biggest story of the offseason is Nathan Rourke, your stunning Canadian quarterback from a year ago, heading down to the NFL and signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He received a deal that included $221,000 US in guaranteed money. Was there any discussions with Nathan about a possible contract extension or renegotiation that could have paid him similar money to stay in the CFL?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he was just trying to navigate his way to making the best possible decision for him. I know he was going to be happy either way. If it ended up that he was back in BC, he was going to be totally excited about it. So, one of his comments was this wasn't about money, which is true. He'd probably be making more money in this league than he would down there. So, but I totally understand what he's doing. Young guy that's came out of when COVID was happening and all that stuff, and I wouldn't bet against him. I don't know what's going to happen, but I wouldn't bet against the guy of when he's got a goal and got a focus, he's going to go give it his best shot, and we'll be rooting hard for him.
Rourke was entering the final year of his rookie deal with BC. That would have only paid him about $80,000 Canadian. Would you have been allowed to rip up that deal and give him a new one?
Yeah. He'd be making more in the CFL than he's going to make in the NFL this year. So it wasn't about money. It was about, just about chasing his dream at the end of the day.
You go out and add Dane Evans to your quarterback room after you lose Nathan Rourke. Why was it important to make that move?
You never can have too many good quarterbacks. I mean, the list is long of the people that needed more than one quarterback to get it done. They needed the teams that had success. You can even look at the team that won the Grey Cup this year. They needed two in the big game itself. So, we were excited to get all these guys with experience. Obviously, VA's our guy. But then to add Dominique Davis and Dane Evans, both guys that have played and understand how to play in the CFL, and we're excited about that. So to have that much veteran QB presence, we're excited about that.
You've been very vocal about Vernon Adams Jr. being your guy moving forward, and Dane Evans seems to have accepted a backup role, but is there any scenario in which he can emerge from training camp as the starting quarterback?
That's not the mindset. I mean, any player at any position will always tell you everything's a competition in football. So, but no, VA's our guy. We said the same thing about Nathan last year, that Nathan was our guy, and we're comfortable in that direction. And I'm excited to see VA, just being around him this off season, and seems like a man on a mission, and he's gonna be ready to go. So I'm excited about that. At the same time, looking forward to the other two guys too. Dane's a very good player, and when we had a chance to acquire him, we were going to do it. And like I said, same thing with Dominique Davis. And I expect all three of those guys to come in and play well, and our offensive staff will have them ready to go, so they know what they're doing, and then they can go do their thing.
All three of those guys are veteran names, experienced CFL quarterbacks. Will you also be bringing in potentially a developmental guy and have a spot for him?
For sure one. Because once you get past 4, you can get to 5, which could happen, but it's hard to get all those reps, and especially with our veteran guys, we need to make sure they're getting the reps in training camp. So I would expect that we would for sure have 1 and maybe 2. We'll see how it goes.
You're a defensive guy at heart, and you recently added Shawn Lemon, a guy who was the most outstanding defensive player nominee for the West Division last year at defensive end. What do you foresee as his role next season?
Well, Shawn's a specialist at getting after the quarterback, and you never can put too much pressure on a quarterback from a defensive point of view. So, if he can do that, keep that up, which all signs look like he's in shape and feeling good and doing those things, then that's a great addition. And that's kind of been our philosophy is, we have a game plan in the off season, but we're never going to turn down good football players. And those are 2 examples of Dane Evans and Shawn Lemon, of guys that we didn't necessarily think we were going to end up with, but we're never going to turn away good football players. And if we can make deals and things work out, then we want to get as many good players as we can, and those guys certainly fall into that category.
There will be a change to the ratio next year where a veteran American like Lemon can sub in for a Canadian starter for up to 49% of the plays.
Yeah.
Was that part of your motivation for that signing?
It's definitely a bonus. You know, we definitely keep track of how many guys we have on each side of the ball that fit into that category. We're really fortunate on defense that guys like Shawn Lemon and TJ Lee and Marcus Sales and Gary Peters and all those guys fall into that category. So that'll give it a little more flexibility as we go. And that's going to be a fun thing to watch this year, getting used to that rule for everyone just on, you can always talk in a room and understand how it works, but it always, this is different once you get on the field and just kind of have a feel for how that works. But that definitely is something you have to take into account now as the guys that meet that veteran American status.
Thanks for your time, Rick. Enjoy the Combine.
Cool, thanks.